Okay. All right. Couple questions.
Okay.
I think earlier, what was I gonna
Yeah, push the talk in Discord kind of come.
stance on political violence?
Stance on political
'Cause
violence.
yeah.
Well, seeing as that I love my platform that I have here on Twitch. I love my platform that I have on YouTube. I have to say that I am very much against political violence. Very, very much. I hate political violence.
Why? Wait, no. Okay, no. Wait. Actually, let me ask a better question. Um, do you think it could be justified? There you go.
Do I think political violence can be justified?
Hmm.
Well, as a God fearing red blooded American, I think about a lot of the redbacks back in the day who disenfranchised my predecessor countrymen from basic human rights, and they had to fight back. I think
Yeah.
in some
There's also like
circumstances,
the opposite.
yeah, I think in some circumstances, um, uh, being violent and having a goal to push can coincide. Not saying that I support any of it, but it's just something that I think just happens in the world. It's just gonna always be a thing, especially when people feel like they don't that peaceful protests have not been fruitful. It's an obvious consequence that violence will break out.
So, like, in almost no situations will there ever be like a way to say that it could be justified. Is that kind of what you're, I guess, okay with leaning towards?
No, there are lots of situations where I think it could be like morally justified from I guess the way I think
All
about it.
right. That's all. That's all I love to hear. As long as some people in some very fucking niche thinks that it could be some justified, I think it's okay.
No, I mean, because I wouldn't think that like the Chinese people right now, if they rose up against Xi Jinping and the Communist Party in China, that they would be morally unjustified from doing that. I think that's pretty justified,
Yeah.
honestly. Like the Jews fighting back during like the Nuremberg days. I think that was pretty justified. I
Yeah.
don't think many people get their feathers too ruffled about me saying Jewish people probably fighting back from being put into death camps would be unjustified violence. And I guess you can categorize that as political, but not saying that I support any of it.
No. Of course.
Of
Of
course.
course. It doesn't mean that you don't. As long as like, because there's some people out there that just really don't understand the idea that um political violence can be just. Doesn't mean that you personally should support it, but doesn't mean that you shouldn't be. It it shows that like the kind of like a little bit of ignorance when it comes to like historical like points in time where um violence broke out and like a political violence broke out and like how do I put this? And like it was justified. You probably don't really support it or could support it, but at the end of the day, like um from a relative moral perspective of what we have now, like we can see like, oh, that was good or that was bad.
I think that being said, I think it's really interesting, and I also think it's extremely funny that the most like hardcore patriotic I love my country, the American exceptionalism, red blooded Kekona Americans will be the first ones to hop on Trump's dick. Or like the police's massive cock about how horrible and terrible all protests are, and then like do donuts in their 20 acres when they're back home on their ATV with a Walmart American flag duct taped to the back of it on Independence Day, remembering all those great times where we crossed
Yeah.
the Delaware and then bombed freaking the biggest military force in the world, the British Navy, to gain independence so we can have our slaves in peace. I mean,
Yeah.
those people are the first ones to jump on about how terrible it is to see any sort of political violence going on. I think it's just like cognitive dissonance and them just being just really dumb. Any
Yeah.
American can think for approximately 2.5 seconds after having at least made it to the 5th grade in your most garbage elementary school in this country, and can come out understanding that in some certain circumstances, even if you understand the basic justification that we have for being here in the United States of America, that sometimes political violence is just going to happen.
Yeah. Whether or not you support it is like your own personal opinion.
Sure, but I mean,
Yeah.
if there's like if there's a base raid going on in Minecraft, I think maybe you should fight back. Grab your grab your diamond sword with a flame 3, or what's it called? What's the enchantment called? It causes fire.
I don't know. I haven't played vanilla Minecraft in a while.
Yeah, you grab your diamond sword with knockback 3, and you put your armor on. And sometimes this is just gonna have to happen to protect your diamond stash. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess now my question is, I think earlier you said like you're not for these protests or even for these riots.
Oh, that's what you dragged me on for, bud. No, I just have a very
Kind of.
nuanced point. I'm not. Yeah, fire 3, sharpness 3. Fire 3, sharpness 3, knockback 4. That's the sword you need to bring to the base raid. You gotta stop those. You gotta stop those griefers. You know what I'm saying? Modern.
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
Yeah.
There you go. No, I'm not against the riots. I have a pretty nuanced position on it, or reasonably nuanced, I think, is that riots in a lot of circumstances are products of conditions that we haven't addressed in our society, and they're pretty inevitable if tension builds up strong enough. I mean, that's just going to happen. Me supporting riots is like me saying I support like the Mississippi running from like freaking Missouri to the Atlantic, or the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to happen either way. If we don't address the problems that we see in society, then we're just going to get riots. But my thing is that riots in a lot of circumstances, and especially in Minnesota, will leave a lot of damage in their wake. We've seen a lot of small businesses be hurt. We've seen a lot of people, lose their livelihood. People can't bounce back. And no matter how socialist of a position you have on like the petite bourgeois perpetuating a system of oppression through the wages or whatever meme socialist is gonna say. Even if you agree with that, I don't think anyone can agree with some like bar being owned by one guy who dumped his life savings into it being like destroyed during a riot, no matter who died. And that's not something that could really pass, and that's not justified. And no one should be justifying that. But I don't think. I'm not sure if you heard it, but I don't think that's justification for saying that the whole riot is bad, or the reasons that the riot happened are invalid. I mean that just sucks. Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is we need to understand and not brush off the damage that riots do and how unproductive they can really be, even if the problems leading up to them are valid.
Okay, interesting. I don't disagree with you. I just like to question people.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. We just need to protect our Minecraft server. That's all I'm saying.
What else would I?
Anything else?
I'm trying to think. Let's. What are you up to? What were you gonna do after this talk?
What I'm gonna do after this talk, I have to go over the one Trump tweet. I have to do one segment on that, about him being like, if they when they start looting, we start shooting. I gotta go over that. Yeah. My man loves his memes. I know I'm going to definitely see that on my Instagram feed soon. I have to go over that, and then and then I want to play Hotline Miami. Honestly, I have to replay that game. Well, I have to. I don't know if I have to, but I really want to. And new Shantae Half Genie Hero came out, because I love the Shantae series, because Shantae is half genie, half human, and all booty. I mean, this is an indisputable fact of the world, right?
Whoa, wait, Shanto?
Shantae?
Shantae, wait, what is this?
You've never heard of Shantae Half Genie? Well, well, the Shantae series is about this girl who belly this Arabian girl who belly dances, and then she turns into other creatures, and then she can use those powers to
I see that.
yeah,
The seven
come
deadly sins.
on, my girl. I think her mom was a genie and her dad was a human, so she's half genie, but it doesn't matter because she's half genie, half human, all booty.
Jesus. You would love my friend. Do you like to do you like watching like Yu-Gi-Oh and all that?
Watching
Are you
Yu-Gi-Oh?
like yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh duels and shit like that, like Duel Links?
I have never played or watched Yu-Gi-Oh, but it
Or
sounds like something that'd be fun.
are you into like anime culture and shit like that too? I'm guessing.
Not necessarily, but it's fine. I've been watching a lot of I finished Full Metal Brotherhood. I'm watching right now My Hero Academia. So I've gotten to a little.
like, don't worry, I'm not like a person who's
You a weeb?
just like
You a
friends.
Mexican
No.
weeb, huh?
I've only seen one so far, Kids on the Slope.
Kind of cringe, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. What? Dude, that's such a good small series.
Sounds like something a
So
cringe lord would say. Oh,
it's
oh
a
my
it's
gosh.
it's a wait, you seen it before? You heard about it?
Oh wait, 1 second. Oh, let me replay that for you. There you go. Burry Lad 19. Thank you so much for that follow. I really appreciate it. Wait 1 second. Someone said something in my chat and it's really stupid. What is your name? Hydroxychloroquine Pack? Sorry, I haven't been here for a long time. My roommate said. Oh, are you okay, bud?
Whoa,
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Do you need help?
Whoa.
Did you put some milk on those burns? I'm sorry. I hope you're okay, and thanks for coming back, bud. And no, I wasn't talking about you saying something stupid. Can you ask your question again? Sorry.
Have you seen Kids on the Slope or anything like that?
I have seen a little bit something like it, but honestly, you seem like the type of dude to watch Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah. Oh, I've been recommended it, but
that's what I thought.
I have it, dude. You know what? I'm not really into anime culture. I just thought you were because of what you asked me, but never mind. Yeah, it's not gonna lead nowhere.
No, it's fine. I'm not like super into anime culture. But you know, if people are loving the dream, then who am I to stop them? Trump is a clown. He's a massive clown. Orange, listen, hippie. We may disagree on some things in this world, but can we all agree that Orange Man bad?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how much we disagree though. I don't know.
I don't know. What do you think about what do you think about the dog pill?
Dog pill? Never heard of it yet.
You never heard about it?
That
really?
Part of like community. What's the dog pill?
Dog pill. It's a fact of the world, my brother. I'm sorry, but it's true. That all girls, if given the chance, would be blasted by a dog. You know, Bruno, get her cheeks clapped.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck? No.
What do you talk? Do you not subscribe to the dog pill?
No.
Whoa, now, buddy, you're basically like a Holocaust denial.
Wait, explain to me how.
How what?
You said all girls given the ability would allow a dog to clap their cheeks, right?
Oh, 100%.
In that statement, from what I like derive from just that surface level statement, no, I feel like I understand that.
What do you mean surface level statement? That's like
because like
you
like
saying that's a surface level
if,
statement is like me saying that gravity exists is a surface level statement.
Well, like the dog pill, we already know that when we say red, like there's underlying statements under it, right?
No, the only thing that's underlying is your girl under Bruno. That's all I'm saying.
Bruno? Who the fuck is Bruno?
That's the dog's name.
Okay. What is this whole thing connected to Holocaust? I'm curious.
I'm just saying it's just like a fact of the world.
So that if I deny that women might have a different preference, some may like dogs, some may actually like human interaction or even horse interaction. Therefore, I am a Holocaust denier.
You're on the same level, buddy. It's not like you are one. you're just like in the same ballpark. You're a conspiracy theorist, basically.
Explain how that connects, though.
What are you
I
talking
still
about?
don't get the connection.
You're denying. You're like a flat earther. You're denying an observable fact of the world. So you just gotta stop. All right. Every time you're like the dog. Every time you stream and you're like the dog pill doesn't exist. You need to have like one of those like YouTube banners at the bottom that links to a Wikipedia page.
Oh no, the idea of dog pill probably does exist, but I feel like the statement that all women, if given the opportunity, or given like the I don't, dude. What the fuck is this?
What are you talking about?
Okay, so I feel like both of us can concede that any quote unquote pill does exist.
All the
Whether or
pills
not
exist.
what it says is completely true.
Doctor prescribed.
What happened?
Is doctor prescribed?
Jesus Christ. What the fuck is this?
That's true. I am owning you in this debate.
Dude, I don't know what this debate's about.
I know because
Okay.
I've just ran so many circles around you, bud.
Okay. The original
I hate my
idea
life.
is that dog pill is that women. It's a fact that given any circumstance that a woman or females
Women,
will
let's not be transphobic here, because once a trans person transitions from male to from a woman to man to woman, then they get embroiled in the dog pill too.
wait, but females like could include non-passing trans women.
No.
Wait, what?
No.
Because like if you're
you're saying
female,
non-pass. Wait, you're saying non. Well, I didn't say female.
Yeah.
I said women, as far as I remember. But if I said female, that's my bad. No, it's just women.
No, I said female.
Yeah, no, it's women. So even non-passing trans women as well are getting inklings of the dog pill creep into their mind, lingering in the psyche.
My idea of women and female are like kind of like the same. Like in my head, like women, female. Like
Excuse me. Well, boys, we found some disagreement. Modern hippie, you're transphobic, bud. Stop.
How?
Modern hippie, you're transphobic. Stop.
Well, I typically
have to stop.
I typically hold the idea that we should abolish gender, but since we have to kind of work with what we got right now, we should allow like this. We should allow the idea of man and female to be like fluid.
Fluid.
Yeah,
well,
like
what do you mean by fluid?
Like if you're a person who wants to like have if you're a person who I guess resides as a man, but like how do I say? Typically, I just say like whatever you want to identify, you can identify as, and if you're gonna transition, you can transition. I don't care. I just think genders.
You're saying gender is cringe?
Yeah, abolish gender abolitionist. Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Okay, so I can understand that, but I've heard these arguments before from TERFs. And what they do is they use the idea of gender abolitionism to perpetuate an idea that discredits the validity of trans people when they want to transition binarily from one gender to the next. So
wait, how would I discredit a man who wants to transition to a woman? I'm not saying
that. What I'm saying is that the argument sounds very similar. So it just run. I'm just like signaling to you that argument, the style that you presented it in. I'm not saying that you believe this. I'm just saying it harkens back to an argument that I've heard before, where they just kind of like try to shit on trans people. I'm not saying that you would do this, through the idea that gender abolitionism is the way to go. So we need to stop trans people from thinking so hard about the binary when they just want to be seen as a woman and then like drink coffee or something with her gal pals at Starbucks once like every 2 weeks or something. I'm just saying that
was presented wrong, or at least could like hold kinds of values, like which argument that I said.
Well, you were like, I don't really care. I'm not sure. I'm like gender abolitionist, but they can do whatever they want still. But like the apathy, I feel just kind of felt that way. Not saying that you did, but honestly, I'd be really interested in picking your brain on this topic if you don't mind.
Yeah, you could go for it. You could ask
So
me anything.
sure. So what I would like a question that I have, right, is so you said you think a female and woman as a very 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 tied together, which I think too, in my head. So can you explain a little bit deeper on that? Yes.
I think in both instances, like when we say things like women instead of just saying female, or even yeah, like women, like it holds same characteristics as saying like man. Like when people typically say, "Oh, you got to be a man," um, that holds like a characteristic like, "Oh, you should repress like emotions, you should be this or that." And when we say women, you should be a woman. Um, like it holds the same. Oh, actually, that's horrible. Actually, that's I just realized. Okay, never mind.
You
Bad.
felt it?
Yeah, I saw it. I just saw it.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. But
Huh?
like I like yeah like I just fucking saw that. I honestly wasn't thinking like too harshly into this
Mm-hmm.
because I think I was like on the other topic about the dog pill, but I just fucking saw
Don't
that.
worry,
Please,
this all ties back
okay,
into the dog pill.
okay. So please explain to me how it's factually correct or factually true that 100% of women,
Yes.
um, 100% of women, uh,
If not
if
100%,
given
it's closing in on 100%.
a majority of women, if given the circumstance or like the option. Or like what's that second part? What's like the second part of the dog bill?
If given the opportunity, especially in a society where it is fine, or if it is hidden away where people will not find out, if they're given the opportunity to do it without any repercussion, then they'll take the opportunity.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
Perfect.
but like if anything is like done that way, you can could let me ask you, could that then just like be like if given the opportunity, anybody could also get it be into like uh like do some pedophile shit?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you mean by pedophile.
Well, like if given the opportunity, um,
Would you consider
adult. Let's see.
well, like back in the day, right? Especially like way back or way back. You don't understand that reference. It's okay. Let's say like 1920s or whatever.
Hmm.
Dudes be coming back from the war and be like, "Oh, my beautiful Madeline, I've missed you," and it'd be like some 12-year-old girl, and he'd be like 17. Would you call that like pedophile shit?
No. Well, hmm,
What about
12 and
13 and like
17.
23?
12 and 17. I can understand that there's like levels to like I guess autonomy as to like how like um hmm.
You know I'm
The
running
only
you around, right?
yeah, like well like I'm not a like
No,
hard stuck
what I
guy.
mean by that is I'm memeing on you.
I really hope you are. Like I'm like trying because like
You
when you
don't want
say
to go on
13
the
and
record to
17,
lose the dog pill debate, my dude.
I really hope I fucking do. Because like the only thing I was thinking is like if you're 13 and 17, I mean they're both in an educational system that like meant for minors and shit like that. But if you're like 13 and he's 21 and he already like he's been in like the workforce,
Whoa,
all
dude,
like
don't call me out like that. Listen, my junior girlfriend Jessica is a very consensual relationship.
I mean like what were you a senior and she was like in eighth grade or ninth
No,
grade?
is I
Wait,
even
what? Are you running
only
me around? Like you gotta
I
stop this.
am.
Like
You're being memed on, dude.
fuck, dude. See, it's because like when I get into like certain circles, when I like understand like certain people do hold like similar values to me, I'm curious as to like how they can justify their value. Even on social issues, it's really hard to like just like it's really like weird to like say on social values, it's really hard to like say like things are social like stone set in stone because maybe like in 100 years like in 50 years or so like transgender issues are probably no longer going to be like an issue because we become gender abolitionist. No one's fucking like subscribing to gender shit, and I'm like, I can like
Yeah.
people who talk to me about this like seem like
The
in
thing
general like
is,
we want it to be good, I guess.
the thing is,
Mhm.
um, we are in the same circle. I am you.
Yeah,
I am you. You already subscribed to the dog pill. You didn't even know it.
I already subscribed to the dog, probably.
Ling- Lingering in the mind, descending from
So
the sky.
if you are me, then I am you.
Yep. Yep. It's like I hopped into this call and you're like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm you, but woke. And then I pull out from my deck like it's on my utility belt. There's a little pack, right? It looks like the AirPods thing, and I flip it open and shoots out the dog pill, and I hold it in my hand, and I hold it up against another pill, and I'm like, pick one. And instinctively, without even thinking, you grab the dog pill, and you're like, I will cherish this. You already subscribed to the dog pill, bud, because I am you. It's all right. I've come back from the future to let you know that the world is better, where we all understand that women will get will give throat to the Bruno.
Hey,
I hate my life.
Fuck. Hey, low key. I do subscribe to the idea that we're all just one person and one being.
That's kind of cringe. You're
It's all.
telling
It's
me that
all.
I'm the
I'll
same
tell
as
you
Jesse
why.
Lee Peterson?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. And this is like the only reason why. It's because I was so hopped up on LSD. Like I took the equivalent of like seven. So like if you think 7 or 10 shots of alcohol is pretty much a lot, I
So
did the same
wait, of
amount with
what? Because
LSD
personally, I
of
drink.
alcohol.
I mean, yeah, sure, you could just say alcohol, but there's lots of different types of alcohol. For me personally, when I hear that, I drink vodka. Okay, I drink vodka. I usually don't drink anything under like 60 proof. So when I'm thinking 7 to 10 shots, I'm like, that's me with a really bad day at work. Some girl who I thought was hot said I look, not that good today, and then I decided, maybe it's just time to end it all.
Okay,
That's
so what I mean by that, like 7 shots of like fucking tequila, like fucking good tequila.
okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, because I have like I got pure LSD, so, or at least like above 90. So basically, I just took a shit ton of LSD, and from there, it just showed me that I was everyone, and everyone it was me.
So
So I
wait,
so I am Orange Man, and Orange Man is Jesse Lee Peterson, and Jesse Lee Peterson is me.
damn, let's go. I mean, it's very it's very profound of you. Um, so, so so we're all just one person, right?
Yeah.
Am I this guy?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, it's sad to say. It's sad to say, like, in a spiritual sense, yes, but at the same time, you're also. Hold on. You have to show chat.
I
Who is
am.
like,
This is a
who
level.
is like,
This is a massive level of Uncle Tom foolery. That
wait, but
I
you're also like like the most kind person there is. You're probably who I don't know who's like fucking modern day saint, but you're also Jesus. Just understand that.
I am. I'm a nice boy.
What the nicest there is.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Modern
So
hippie
just it's
17.
you're just like my friend who does a nihilist point of view in most of things that I say. Because and trust me, like I'm more than happy to like change on a lot of shit
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to like spiritual shit. So like a
Yes.
while ago we talked about like the like life and purpose. So like I said, we're born with a purpose, and he says we're born without one, but we make one. And he put up like this argument, just like how you did right now. Like, well, what about people born that get cancer? And he asked me like, is that their purpose in this life to get cancer? And somehow, if I'm going to be consistent, I have to say yes, that's their purpose. But that could mean that in the next life, because I do subscribe to Nirvana as well, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
In the next life, they could then, therefore, since they suffered in this one, they could probably have a better one. Um,
True. Um, this
but
this is
like
true.
that's just
You
like
know,
that's just
Jeff Bezos. We
That's
all
a lot.
clown on Jeff Bezos, but maybe in the last life, he was a stripper who was he was a stripper who was trying to strip to gain his her way through college or something. She had like 2 kids, and then one harrowing night, someone with a whole pack of rolls of dimes threw it at her, hit her right in the temple, and she died. And due to that suffering, she came back in the next life as Jeff Bezos. Lex Luthor head ass, and has all of the power. May indeed be the world's first trillionaire, richest human being on the face of the universe. So
And
I mean,
now that she's like causing suffering, now she goes back to the life of suffering.
true. She
that
may come
cycle,
back as
dog.
like a snail or something next life. You ever No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So like, yeah, that's my philosophy of life.
I mean, interesting. I mean, I think you got I don't think you gave the best argument that you could on the what's the purpose question, because personally, me as a religious boy, I think that we are born with a purpose. But
Mhm.
I don't think saying if you're if you're given the question, oh, what about people who are born with cancer? Was their purpose to get cancer? I don't think their purpose was to get cancer. It just happened. Some things just like happen.
They were there to kind of like teach their people and around them, like they're person who's suffering, but in that suffering, like there's like teaching moments around them. So like if you're born with a mental deficiency, you taught like your parent how to be like strong or something, or you taught, or even if the parent like leaves you, you kind of taught the parent like they're kind of like a person or something like that.
I don't know if your like story gets out about it, then maybe that could affect like one person, and then that one person could go on to like do something better that they wouldn't have before. The Lord works in mysterious ways. So I mean,
Buddha.
thank you, fat man. Bless us, fat man.
I don't even think he's fat. I think it's just different. The different.
There was
well,
a
yeah, I guess
there was
fat.
I mean there were 2 versions of Buddha. There was the prophet Buddha, and then the actual deity Buddha. I think the deity Buddha was the chubby boy. I forget. It's one of the 2. Indian like Indian culture, like religion, Buddha wasn't. I think I'm Hinduism. Buddhism and Hinduism, they're like the same to me. Maybe I'm just racist, and I think like all Asian cultures look the same. But 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 no, they over there they love their like fat deities. Fat Buddha, Ganesh. You know Ganesh?
Yes, isn't that the
Elephant.
yeah? I think there's no, actually. So I heard that name before. I just didn't attribute the
Maybe
person.
you heard it from your friend who plays Smite, because Ganesh is in Smite. But Ganesh, he's a chunky boy. He's got some weight on him.
Yeah, looking at it.
Yeah, look at him. What do you mean, ew, Smite? Excuse me, Vabadon. I don't know if you want to fight or something. I meme around about how much I'm not into political violence, but I could make an exception for you if you say that Smite's bad.
Oh, I see.
I love Smite. I've been playing Smite since 2014. But yeah.
Has anything ever? Have you ever thought about playing League?
I tried to play League a couple times. It gave me tumors in my brain, in my frontal cortex. So I had to stop.
Sounds like League. Okay.
See, listen. Here's the thing with League. I've never once in my life seen someone having fun playing League. It's just a phenomenon to me that every time I drop into a League stream or something like that, like they're having like the worst time in their life. It's like they're being punished, like playing League sounds like something that we did to prisoners prisoners that we took in Afghanistan. Like we put them into like a freaking garage in Afghanistan and sat them down and tied them to a chair where they were forced to play like 5 League games a day until they gave us the information on where like
Jesus, they wouldn't even want to play. They'll just give it up.
No, though, yeah, they're just like, please make it stop. I can't play another game against fiddlesticks in mid, and they're like, do it again until we get the information. They're like, please, I'll tell you anything. I've just never seen anyone have fun playing League. It's incredible to
Yeah,
me.
no.
Like even when they're winning, they're screaming about how much they hate League,
Yeah, it's so toxic. Yeah. The
and it
community is
doesn't
just
even
so
have a
bad.
voice chat. Can you even imagine League with a voice chat?
It would have been a lot worse. And if you put League with the voice chat, it only justifies that one Twitch streamer's point.
True, dude. I don't know. League is just I've just never found League to be super fun. I just don't like I usually don't like the top down sort of vibe that I get from those games. The only one that I really liked was Battle Right. I put a good amount of time into Battle Right when it first came out, and I thought it was really fun. Battle Right was super fun. Super fun to play.
Right? Oh, I've
um
heard about it.
yeah, Battle Right was great when I played it. And that was the top down sort of look.
Bro, fighting games are, in my eyes, like I've always made them so underrated.
I don't know. I
Any
think
kind of
they're
fighting.
she kind of cute. She kind of cute though. Dang it, these artists are kind of. Any maybe it's just I don't know. Wait. All right. So wait. The trans thing. I was still thinking about it. All right. So did you you introspected a little bit? You felt a little bit of like an internalized transphobia there.
Oh no, yeah, I saw it. Like I've used to, so like my obviously, well, for me obviously started in a conservative side. I used to be like anti-transgender. Then my friend kept on pushing me on my views, and then like till now, like I see, like I've personally just push for anything that's trans rights. Like it's cool. Like they they're valid people. Their idea is valid. But yeah, I saw that. I just literally saw that when it came to like when I started like describing like male and then were male versus men, like that ideology. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So I saw that.
It's really weird. It's really weird, isn't it? You stare into the void and then you see the void staring back.
Hmm.
But but yeah, I mean it just happens like that. Cause you said it and I was like, I feel there's something here. I can smell it. There's the smoke there's fire type beat. I don't do a lot of
Yeah.
stuff on trans issues. It's just not really my thing. I feel like I don't know. It's just not really my thing. I don't do a lot of thing on like race issues. I don't do a lot of things on like trans issues. It's just not necessarily my thing. But I like to stay updated onto it, especially if there's some like dumb shit spewing in my chat that I feel like it's my duty with my platform to try to, stop people from being stupid, or at least show people that when you're stupid, you look really bad when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because that seems to
You
work out
see,
a
like,
lot. Just
you see,
making
like
people who hold bad ideas just look stupid. But go ahead.
yeah, you see, like it just for me, like even though I might have held that for like a second, like I don't put myself too down on it because I like even though like I held that weird little view for like a quick second, I was able to easily realize like, hey, that's like a very bad like tie, and I'm more than willing to like change that view, um, like on a theoretical sense and shit like that. So I like thanks. I do want to thank you for at least like letting me do that. So I have to like keep on remembering like, hey, females, women and female are two different things.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I'll like separate a little bit here from like a lot of people, but I think it's normally with trans people being such a small portion of the population. I think if we assume that like we hear female and then that instantly goes into just being a woman, I think 99.8% of the time you're just gonna be fine and right. And I think it's important to you know if it's wrong, correct yourself and be sorry. And we should be a lot,
Oh yeah, of
a little
course.
bit more vigilant about it. But I don't think we should, uh,
Hammer ourselves
spend,
down.
be on the cork board with like pictures and like the red string going on between like, who's a woman, who female. It's just important to understand,
Understand.
keep it in your head.
Yeah. Is there another question you'd like to ask, or was
Another
that
question.
like the one that that kind of broke the ice and it's like, okay, now you understand.
You got a dog?
Now, yes,
You do have a dog? What's their name?
yes, small Chihuahua named Buddy.
See, listen, okay. I said this before
Hmm.
in chat, but I'm gonna keep saying it. There's some spiritual connection between Mexican people and Chihuahuas.
Yep, possibly.
And that one like bald, you know the bald dog, where it has like black skin, that has like no fur. You know what I'm talking about? That one Mexican
All
one.
dog
I think it
black.
starts with an
No.
X.
All dog black.
Yeah, here it is. I have no clue how to pronounce this. Zolo.
Oh, from the movie.
Sure,
Wait,
I guess if
no.
you're gonna like boil down their whole identity to a movie.
Oh, oh, I see. Oh, yeah, what about it? Oh, you think that's like the spirit animal?
Maybe it's like the Chad spirit animal. I feel like a Chad Mexican person would have this, and then the normal Mexican people would have like, you know, Beverly Hills Chihuahua type beat. You know,
Hey, this is actually a beautiful fucking dog. Well,
the
well
dog
groomed,
pill
like
rages on.
well groomed and shit. It's actually
Damn,
beautiful.
damn, that dog kind of hot though. I'm not saying you should fuck a dog, but if you do, it definitely would be that one though.
Oh, no.
I love my
Fuck.
life, dude.
Hey, you really, Jesus, you really took that off. Like I was kind of like treading muddy waters. Like in my mind, I'm thinking
Dude, I'm
like
walking you to the river Styx. You know, I'm taking you to the underworld. Welcome to
that's why I
my.
wanted to push. That's why I wanted to push you so much on the Holocaust like correlation. I was like, you need to explain to me like how it connects and if like because
It
oh
was like
dude, because
Cerberus,
I hate that shit. Anytime like I've been around like Holocaust deniers and I have like a good
bro.
like
When you
cited
take
source.
away gun rights, it's basically the Holocaust. When you say that I have to wait 2 weeks after I buy a gun to get it, to pick it up from the shop, it's basically the Holocaust. You know,
Wait, due to like time restriction or due to like ship?
bro. I'm memeing. You never heard that
Uh,
before?
um, no,
Oh, I may have a
I
dry
haven't.
delivery, but no, I'm memeing.
The
No,
only
there.
okay, so one thing I do like to say, or I do like to try to not do is, and I'm actually like cool with you, Mimi, because I may not understand it sometimes, but like I would hope that you can come out saying, or if not, I might not like be around too much,
I
but
think memes should be a very important part of discourse. In all
yeah,
seriousness,
no,
memes
yeah,
are
no,
incredibly important. They're a great
no,
way to
no.
spread information. They're fun. When people are memeing around, people are way more likely to be, you know, stay in tune. They're laughing. You know, laughter's best medicine. I think laughter could also be the best way to push political ideas too. I mean, if we just think about it, that's why comedy has been such an important part of like political commentary and critiquing power for such a long time. I mean, all the way back to like jesters being part of the king's court, them being, you know, seen as like the truth teller who could say things that, you know, the courtier or anyone else in the council could say, because, you know, they're making people laugh while they say it. I think that's really important all the way up until today, where lots of truth can come out about, you know, about things when people are laughing along. I think that's, you know, I think that's really important.
It could be, but like when I'm like discussing or debating, uh, more like debating. Like when I'm discussing, I don't really like hung up on me. But when I'm like debating someone and they start memeing, like that's when like my personal like radar was like, oh, this guy's being true, trying to be like a good faith actor, like falls
I think it
unless like
depends
something else
on
comes first.
what they're memeing about, right? Like if the whole argument is them like not being serious, like taking it seriously or anything, then obviously you could be like, oh, you don't take, you don't even, you're not even taking this conversation seriously. Why should I be here? If
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
case,
I
then
give up.
obviously. But I think if someone's like just having a good time and you guys can like, you know, share memes together, even if you're like disagreeing, I think honestly, I'll take that a lot of the time. Even when I'm disagreeing with someone, because I think that they're fun. I think it's fun, and also if they're like being serious in their topics, because, you know, you could like say something serious and then finish it off with a meme that's hyperbole but still can like push your point, and it could be funny. But then you can like actually address the point, because when the memes don't hamper the conversation, because I think that's what you're really getting at. When the memes hamper the conversation, then you're like, oh, why am I here? What's wrong with this person? That I've been being truthful. They don't even care about this. I think that's the real problem that you're trying to get at. But I think if, you know,
Yeah,
you're just like
it's
having
probably
fun during it, then I don't think it's that big of an issue, you know?
Yeah, I probably been like very fucking traumatized from being around like or like not being around but debating a lot of fucking like
I know that
alt
group,
writings.
that like weird group that you're full of like right wing kids. That
Yeah.
you the last time I remember them was when you were playing Castle Crashers. Those guys, when they were like memeing around, they weren't like taking anything seriously, and they're like really stupid. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's why like when some like because they just meme a lot, but like a lot of what they say is like there's some underlying like just earlier
yeah, I think a
just
lot of
earlier someone was
no, go
like
ahead.
You're gay because you're gay and gay is bad." And then when I asked it's bad, like he was like, "Well, I'm not subscribing to," like he was memeing like, "I'm not subscribing to realistic values of morality and this and that," like in a meme. And then he just says, "Therefore, you are gay." And like
Yeah,
he's
when people
memeing.
like back off their point because they don't know how to defend it, and then they like moonwalk away with a meme, then obviously, yeah, that's stupid. But I think the biggest thing that you need to know with that is that some people, you should use that as an opportunity to prove to your audience and other people watching that this person's just stupid. That's when I think you need to change gears. I don't think a debate and like conversations, they're not like if you think of an automatic car as having just one gear, right? I know they don't, but imagine them having just one gear, right? And that you can't think of these sorts of conversations like that, especially with these people who like don't care or like don't know how to defend their arguments or like say some really dumb shit. You should be able to change gears, you know, from a serious gear to like a meme gear, to go from having an actual conversation to just making this person look stupid. I know like Ben Shapiro's like one of the ways you should debate the left is make sure you don't take any of their arguments seriously and just try to make them look dumb in front of like an audience, right? So with
Yeah.
you shouldn't come into every debate like that, but when it devolves, you should be able to use that as a situation to just make them look stupid, because that's also very valuable. If you make someone look stupid who holds the same view as someone else who has it, and your goal is to make them not hold that view anymore, lots of people want to feel smart, and they feel smart vicariously through people who have platforms. So a good way to help them dissuade or shake that up and plant the seed of changing their mind is a good way to do that is make them look stupid.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah, what do
actually
you think?
pretty that's pretty helpful. Yeah, like if you make them look stupid in a group of people that what I guess like would be hard to is to make I wanted like I got to figure out how to make people look stupid like in front of their own audience. Um I guess like that would be like my
Yeah, social distancing
goal
is out
and
the window, bud.
practicing with a
Sorry.
lot of these debates
We're getting real
because like
close.
obviously if you make someone look stupid like
I
your
always get real
audience
close to my
might be like
boys.
yeah he's pretty stupid, maybe some sensitive people might say yeah he's pretty stupid, but like it would help more if I can say like make him look pretty stupid in his own audience.
Yeah, make him look stupid to his face, and then you know what's really cringy, and
What's up?
this is what's great about it, because you can use cringe as a weapon. Also, we should use cringe as a weapon on the left. The right's done it for a really long time. We should use cringe as a weapon. When someone's like really smart, right? And they're like running circles around someone where they can't even accept that they've been like, you know, absolutely blown out of the water. Their like cheeks have been clapped so hard that they don't even know what to do anymore, and they just start being, you know, oh well, I was just really tired. I was just joking, you know. I didn't think it was like that serious. When you force them to back off into that, and then you start clowning on them, oh my gosh, dude, you don't even know how that feels. Like they go home and they're thinking about it. Like they can't even do anything about it. Everyone who sees that
Yeah.
walks away like, well, you know, I mean, he didn't do that well, but I'm not like that guy. Like, and they have to like even distance themselves from that person that they look that bad. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
that's actually
spicy.
pretty interesting. I guess I had the opportunity today because like someone's like, "Well, I'm drunk and I'm doing this," and
There you
like,
go. That's
I guess
cringe, dude.
I gotta fucking see that now and like like not call it out, but like make it look bad.
Jokes are important. It's always great to use jokes. Lots of people just kind of push them off. I know a lot of people on the right will kind of use jokes to like hand wave, like saying some really dumb stuff. Like one of my biggest questions that I always wanted to ask one of these people, right, is they'll get really, really mad about someone joking about them being like gay or something, and they'll take it like to heart. Like their masculinity will be absolutely destroyed at that very moment when someone compares them to like a woman or being gay, right? And they take those jokes super seriously. But I don't think any of them at any point in time would be like would accept, oh dude, it was just a joke as like a as a defense of like of that joke. You know, jokes can be serious, even if they're memes. Joke and serious aren't two different things. They're not antonyms. You know, they can easily be separated. They're not like
Yeah,
intrinsically
because they
connected,
could
but they're
coincide.
yeah, but they can easily coincide with each other. Like I mean, if I tell a joke, obviously a lot of it can be hyperbole, but the underlying message that I'm sending can be 100% true. Um, so I mean, we just got to make sure to use it, bud. Don't use it. Use it and abuse it. Abuse them.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, I guess I'll try that.
There you go,
I'll
bud.
look around for those opportunities.
But look
Hey,
for
we
the
learn every day on this stream, dog.
100%. Memes are a beautiful thing. And I got what, and I hope you can also use the dog pill too. That's
Did I just get meme pilled? Did
you
did I
got
just
me.
get meme pilled? Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the meme pill.
I just
Me.
got meme pilled. Jesus.
Yeah, what do you think about the riots though?
Um,
I didn't ask your opinion on it.
um, generally, I think it's just justified. Um, I think based off of like the history of the black community, just in general, they at some point they do get some time to start writing. They deserve the time to like fucking start writing and like create chaos to I shed light on certain point. There's just I guess like in this instance, there's like two different like narratives that are like being brought up. Like the narrative that like when we're talking about George Floyd, I guess in one instance we're talking about police brutality against blacks, and then in another instance we're talking about like white crime against blacks. Um um and so far any person that I've talked that are like I guess anti BLM, even with their sources, like with their sources being brought up, like a lot of them like aren't that well um like
Is
cited or
Borderlands
like
just that good?
like they're a lot of them are like either biased articles from white supremacist shit. um and yeah, like the riots, I think they're justified. I don't know how long it should go on for, and I don't know how
I don't think
like
anybody
I don't
knows how
know.
long they should go on for. They just stop when they stop.
Yeah. um but it's a lot of destruction too. I can't keep saying that like that all the destruction is deserved, but
I
it's
think
a
like
lot
all the ways people express their discontent with the system are tools, but like some tools are just more destructive than others.
Mhm.
Like a bandsaw and a stick of TNT are both tools. But I don't think anyone's going to be using TNT to make a shelf.
Okay.
That's just what I'm saying. We should support the right of protesters to protest, and I think lots of riots can be justified in certain of situations. I think this being one is. I think sometimes it's needed.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I like the idea of like deserve. I'm not sure if anything deserves like a riot. I don't want to like put any like moral weight behind it too much, but it's just like an inevitable consequence of the material situations and the political socioeconomic like situations you put people
Yeah.
into. Obviously this is going to happen, but I just don't think we should be like super duper gung-ho like we need anything that happens bad we need support a riot. But
Yeah. No. Not every time.
I just feel like we really need to understand the usefulness of riots, their shortcomings, and the damage that they do that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. And then one thing too, like, um, I don't know how. Like, I feel like this is also gonna hurt kind of like discourse around like certain groups, because like typically like in my own personal sense, if someone were to come up to me and show me a video like, hey, look like of the whatever opposite stance they're going to take, like, hey, look at this video that you see of this one instance, I'm typically going to be denying it, saying like, well, like that's one video that could be a one off, and therefore um like if you look at the actual stats, like that, like just because this happened and this video is so like viral doesn't mean it's a true thing. And I feel like if people, I still haven't looked up much into the stats of like every like black on white crime and white on white crime and all that other stuff. But if it doesn't turn out in the favor of like the idea that Black lives are actually being like killed or fucked over, like just killed. I think in this instance, killed. If it doesn't turn out to be like something that kind of resides in the left leaning side, it could be like something that hurts discourse for the left, like the Black Lives Matter purpose when it comes to homicides and murders of blacks.
Yeah, it's like the memers who go around saying that like Antifa is the most like a violent terrorist group in
Mhm.
the country when they use the same exact video from like 2015 of the dude hitting another guy over the head with a bike lock.
Yeah, or
You
just
know?
any video in general. Yeah.
Yeah, people love to do that. I just think when conditions get like so bad that people just stop caring about optics and they just want something done.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I mean, honestly, I think it's just pretty understandable. If things are just so bad where the only thing you can do is just, go off and riot, then I mean, sucks to suck, brother. But
Yeah,
that's
the
just
reason
gonna
why I
happen.
think it's deserved is like through like even little like a little bit of recent history. Like last year, like black people were like getting what was it quote surgically, like it was they were getting like
Surgically
held off
targeted.
from voting.
That's what you're
The
talking about.
yeah,
In the
from North
Carolinas, right?
Carolina. Yeah. And overall, like their situation comes from like redlining and shit like that.
hmm
Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's
so
pretty
like
understandable to see why it's happening, but I think we need to, temper it a little bit. With I know I've seen a
of
lot of
course,
people
yeah.
be like super gung ho with like finally the revolution is coming. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be hurt here, right? And
Hmm.
their political efficaciousness is questionable. So I think we just need to be a little bit more tempered on the idea of riots. While I do think it's inevitable. You make it happen. It's inevitable. You
You gotta
leave.
protect your Minecraft base.
You gotta protect your Minecraft base when it's being griefed over and over again. I mean, it's just pretty obvious that what's gonna happen. What goes around comes around. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. What else was I gonna say? What else?
What do you think
Yeah,
about
I mean,
what do you think about
what?
deers?
Hey, man, she, or that person
You got it.
is feeling some kind of euphoria, be acting like a deer. They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. I did one video on Steph, ferociously Steph, and
Hmm.
I mean, I think I had a pretty reasonable take on it. Situation these sorts of there's lots of discrimination that can go on in the gaming community, especially during voice chats.
Hmm.
Deleting them isn't like the way to do it.
No, yeah, I guess like that was like I don't know if she really meant it to be like I don't know if she meant it to be like a like um scheme where like she gets so much popularity because she says something so radical. I don't know if she like that was her purpose.
Oh,
Um,
were people
but
saying that? I haven't seen that one yet.
like so like when you say something like super radical, like you're obviously going to attract negative attention, but also you're going to attract like positive attention from people who want to like protect you because your ideas like might sound wholesome to them.
I haven't seen anyone say that yet, but this has been a belief that she's actually held for a pretty long time. I read her article she released on Kotaku, I think. I read the whole thing, not on stream, but I read the whole thing before I did my segment. And she like backed off later, like, I don't want to take your voice chat. That's not really what I wanted to. I mean, you said pretty obviously that
She should have doubled down right there. Yeah.
if you want to back off that point, that's fine. That's fine to me. I don't care. But she said pretty obviously, in all of the articles that she wrote, like a couple years ago, about how she believes that in an ideal world, all voice chat would be removed. I think that was something that she said pretty clearly.
Hmm.
Um, so she could back off that, but I think that's one thing that she kind of lied about, or at least kind of misread. But yeah, I mean, she's vibing. I'm not sure exactly if I really want her as basically the face of
Which
trans people on Twitch,
uh,
not Twitch, of trans people on Twitch, because people are gonna see her like that. People, like it or not, people are gonna see her as the face of trans people for Twitch.
Hmm.
People are already seeing like the community, the people who are picked as being the face of this group or that group. I mean, even like Destiny and like Train and the crew were like, we don't have someone who supports us LSF streamers. I mean, where's the live stream fails representation on the, people already see as like each person being picked as some sort of like voice for the community. I'm no trans, but I feel like it's not very great for I haven't spoken to any other trans people, but I don't know how they feel about that, but I'm not necessarily sure that I'd want them, if I was trans, to be basically you know my face, my vanguard.
What's your opinion about her role playing as a deer?
Role playing as a deer, I think it's freaking weird, dude. I think it made me really her video of her getting pet on her head and then coming on stream through her yoga pants or whatever was going on, I think it was really
What?
weird. What?
Wait, what?
You didn't
Coming
see
on
that?
stream?
Well, you didn't see that video?
No. Wait,
What
was
are you
she
talking? It's really uncomfortable.
like,
I'm not gonna look at it
oh,
again, but
send it to me and I gotta watch it. I'll fuck. I don't
no,
know.
I think it's her most viewed clip. It's the one of her getting pet on her head and and going like
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. It's I don't know if she was coming,
I don't
but
know,
I
but
think she was
she was acting like she was coming,
euphoria.
okay?
I feel like so my friend says like, oh, she was in a state of euphoria. She was
I don't
vibing,
know.
dude.
I don't know. I don't care. If you get to, maybe she connected to the Nirvana that you mentioned. Maybe it was just that hard. But I mean, it just made me really uncomfortable, and I never got through watching the whole thing. I cringed too
Yeah,
hard. That being said,
yeah.
I just don't care. I really just don't care. Her like going out into her front lawn, mowing down the dandelions, because she just feels like it one day. It makes her more connected to being a deer because she's a furry. I mean, Godspeed, brother. But
Bro,
don't catch me watching any of that.
the only
Um,
so like in order to so my friend was just saying like, well, if someone's doing something that makes them happy in private and it's not hurting anyone, why be against it, or why make will say that it's weird? Um,
listen,
so like so the way that I attacked it, this is the way that I attacked it is like I was like, bro, she literally says you're a reindeer forest. Therefore, if she's a reindeer forest, you shouldn't normalize the fact that you should walk up to a wild animal and just start petting it. So that's the only way I could fucking like attack her video and her position.
I mean, I think you can attack her position on voice chat in games. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no
The deer
position
stuff,
to
that's what I'm
attack
talking about.
on her being a furry. Like there's no position. She didn't take a position there. That's just her being a furry. And if that's your case, if that's what if that's what you love, like I said, Godspeed. But I just don't. I think it's weird and I don't care. But I think there's a difference between thinking something's weird and not really, and also being pretty apathetic towards it, which honestly I think is the best place to be towards these sorts of things. Just apathetic towards it, because you can be apathetic towards what someone does while not being apathetic towards like people's reaction to it. Because if someone like comes in and is just like, she's the most disgusting degenerate creature on this face of the earth, she must be put in the I mean, then I can be like, bro, chill, dog, it's really not that serious. No one cares. Lots of people go home and like don their freaking bunny ears and love to get railed by a fox. If that's your thing, God, I don't care. But also people who like go way off the deep end on it, I can be like, bro, you need to find something better to do with your life.
Yeah, lots of women like to get dogged on by a dog.
Yeah, the dog bill. Mostly, wait, what? It was kind of cringe, mostly because that's how she presented herself as a Twitch representative necessity. I mean, she was part of the council. I don't know if needlessly putted herself as a Twitch representative. Well, she also wasn't a Twitch representative. She's just like part of the council. Antagonizing and generalizing gamers. See, I want to go over this gamer thing, okay? I want to go over this gamer thing. I did it once before when I was when I made my video, but I guess I'll do it again. Okay, so you know what they're referencing, right? About
When they talk
gamers.
about I typically think that like when we talk about gaming, we're talking about like a very toxic community in any aspect.
Yeah,
So, or
that's
what
what
do
I was
you?
thinking too. Because let's be 100% honest, okay? You can go back to the old like a Modern Warfare 3 days, right? We can go back to the
Mhm.
old Modern Warfare 3 days, and there are hundreds, thousands, even hundreds of thousands, maybe even of videos that have maybe even a billion views collectively of people screeching at each other over the voice chat, and it's the most vile garbage that you've ever heard in your entire life for literally no reason. They're all just playing video games after they got home from like elementary school or their job at Target, and they just want to like a vibe on a game on their Xbox 360,
Yeah.
and if that's the case, and nothing's really have changed, like too bad. I think honestly the gaming community has calmed down a little bit, but let's be honest, the gaming community in most communities are really, really bad. You can talk about the League community, you can talk about the COD community, and you can like push off all the terrible people in this and that community all you want, but we can go through the list of any community, gaming community that you want, besides like maybe Animal Crossing, I guess, or like Frogger, and these communities are all garbage and terrible and toxic. I don't think this is disagreeable. Now, like what she said when she said, lots of gamers. Let's clear up one thing. She did not say most gamers are toxic. She did not say all gamers are toxic or white supremacists. She didn't say most gamers are white supremacists. She said a lot, and a lot is a very nebulous term that you can throw around to mean literally anything, because a lot could be 2%. I think a lot of any community being a white supremacist is too much, right? So that could be 2%, that could be under 50%, anywhere in there is a lot. What do you think, Modern?
Yeah, because I mean, 2% of like the gaming population being, because more than likely they're gonna be the most vocal.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I mean, like I said, she could mean 2%, she could mean 49.9%, but she never said most. We can get that done.
Yeah.
But that being said, her claim that lots of gamers are white supremacists, I'm not sure if you should say that, especially as people will see you as a representative, even though you're not, of like the like left of the of like progressive people of lots of things, and even if you don't see it like that, you should I think you should temper your language a lot more when you're basically seen as a representative of the company. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're like, you kind of are responsible. Is Twitch a publicly traded company? If
Well,
not, even then,
they're bought
they
by Amazon, so
yeah.
so
If
I
not even
guess
then, like they're
in a
advertising.
way, it's like
They're
how you
advertising.
can't buy stock in Google, but you buy stock in Alphabet.
Yeah, yeah. So like they kind of have a responsibility to try to get as much money, because that's all what all the money.
Yeah. Wait, what did you? Wait a second.
Sorry, I'm also playing chess.
No,
So
not you. I am reading my chat. I am not. I was listening, but I agree with what you said. But also, what?
I mean, yeah, I mean, like
Yeah, there are
the
a
only
lot of
way.
racist gamers. Like that's the problem. I mean, we can talk about the stink that was. I mean, let's just go over. All right, are you ready, hippie? We're gonna go over we're gonna go over some gaming history. Are you ready, bud?
Fuck it, let's do it. I got no pad
Let's
out.
go. Let's talk about the female streamer, who was run out of the COD community for beating for being like really good. She was harassed. She was, I think she was even doxxed, something crazy like that. We can talk about what happened recently. There was a really good, really good Smash Bros player. She was a girl. I think she was a little younger. She had to delete her entire account. She had to stop playing because she got so much harassment. Pro gamers in on like teams, the female gamers get absolutely harassed to absolute shit, dude. It's really, really bad. There's
Oh
just so many
yeah,
instances of
like
just
last year.
gaming communities just being really garbage.
Wasn't that like just last?
Yeah, this wasn't that long ago. It's still happening. We can talk about the what the Resident Evil remake, with people literally crying and threatening a class action lawsuit against Naughty Dog because they had the classic designed character outfit for the for the pre-order pack. but you couldn't see her panties, you couldn't see her quivering clit through her shorts because they put boy shorts on her under her skirt. People cringed about that. They got really mad about that. We could talk about what's the other one? You have one on your head? Battlefield. Remember Battlefield when people made a massive stink about the Battlefield World War game with a female on the front cover? Happened again.
Wasn't there also like the Overwatch one?
Where 100%. Where people got really mad about what is it? About Tracer being gay.
Yeah. And then wasn't there also controversy against what's his name? Soldier 76? Wasn't there some there?
Yeah, I think Soldier 76 was also gay, but in the comic, it wasn't even in the game. It's just in the comic book released alongside the game. Fictional characters having imaginary sexual orientation. Yes, to flesh out the characters, they have relationships with other people. I mean, what's more crazy than a fictional character in a video game having like a fleshed out personality so people can relate to the character and enjoy it? Or people getting really, really mad about what gender they decide to bring home at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about how much fuss people made about it, but this happens again and again and again. This happens again and again. Gaming communities are just really bad. They just suck. They're just super toxic, right? Now, you could say that without saying a lot of gamers are white supremacists, because I'm not sure if I even believe that. I feel like a lot of these people don't even care that much about politics or that embroiled in politics. They're just like tangentially related to like right wing and reactionary politics, right? Do you agree with that?
Pretty much, because all they see is like mainly they're not really interested into getting.
Yeah, they see like a Ben Shapiro clip. They see like a freaking Sargon of Akkad like anti-SJW clip, and then they're just like tangentially related to like right wing sort of garbage rhetoric about these sorts of like things like going woke and going broke, right?
Yeah, it plays to like their kind of like community of clips. Like typically those kinds of clips that come from, like like their game, like their clips from their games are like similar to like clips from like SJW. Like they're short segments that are like sick ass plays or sick ass like fucking conflict, and they just like it. It's their way of fucking seeing videos.
Yeah, and even if I'll grant that it's such a, let's say 1% of the gaming community is like this, right? I wouldn't even agree that it's 1%. I think it's far higher than 1% at the frequency that we see it, right, Modern?
For sure.
Yeah, so even if I agree that it's like 1%, if 1% is all I hear from the gaming community, that's basically the community. I don't think anybody else would argue that if all I hear, right, is the worst part of a community and the other part doesn't do anything about it or just don't speak at all, then there's no other way to judge this community by what you hear from it. And if all you hear from it are bad things, then I mean, I'm sorry. That's 'tis life, dude. The whole thing's gonna be thrown out. And that sucks, but I think we need to improve gaming communities just to be better. Now, but like I said, I don't even think a lot of them are politically engaged enough to even comprehend what white nationalism even is, or like the dog shit prescriptions that go into it. With that being said, I don't think that she should have said that, but the underlying message that gaming communities are garbage is 100% true. Go ahead, Hippie.
I mean, you kind of summed it all up. you kind of like you kind of just like went through like basically every like great argument that you could probably use to say that like the gaming community is just overall toxic. And I guess you could add on like there are like companies typically like incentivize this, or not even incentivize, but don't like do anything about it. I think Riot, like I was watching a stream from like Devin Nash. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
So Devin Nash, like I think went into like the like money of like even League of Legends, and like he was talking about like they probably don't ban all the toxic people because toxic people probably make up most of their money.
Yeah, it's like the whales, you know? It's like most of the Twitter traffic and most of the tweets on Twitter come from like, I think like 10% or even less of all the people that use Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but even then, right? Even if it's a small amount, like you said, if that's all you hear, then I'm sorry. Then your community just sucks. It just does. If no one else, if there's no like equal, if there are so many people who don't feel that way, then I feel like I'd hear a lot more people get mad about this, or at least say something. But it feels like it's like a lot of people are super apathetic, and then the other people who actually are doing the talking are the ones acting as it. Listen, if we're going to take the idea that Ferociously Steph, Dear Girl, is a representative for Twitch, then the people who are doing the most talking during these sorts of like issues, when gamers are like called like this or that, then I'm sorry, they're representative for the gaming community. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just fucking lost a piece that I didn't think about. Jesus Christ, no, chess. Um, no, but for sure, like the vocal minority, the vocal minority makes up a lot of like whatever like um platform is. Yeah, I'm using this game. Jesus Christ, so fuck.
I'm sorry, I'm sucking up too much brain power. You can't effectively play chess.
A little bit because I'm trying to like think about like this story and like think about like 10 moves ahead of this guy, but
Sure, like
but
like I'm
no,
saying.
overall,
No,
the
go ahead.
you're like summing it up like really well in general. I'm pretty sure I have nothing much more to add. Like though, if gamers can't like typically engage with the theory behind her statement and are very blindsided to like her statement, like I mean they're just stupid.
I mean, yeah, tis life, buddy. And even if the Westboro Baptist Church is not Christianity, I mean, and or like anything else, if there aren't enough people coming out against it, and all we hear is that, then I mean, they act as the representative, and that sucks. But tis life. That just happens.
Yeah, I know.
And I
Hey,
don't
I
think,
have a
and like, there's a lot of terrible things that. Listen, nothing she said was so terrible that she deserved like the vast amount of hate that she got. The only person who deserved any sort of like real hate that came their way was this person. It was Liz. You know, did you ever see what happened with Liz, who said like a dyslexic person, who said like fuck a dyslexic person? Did you ever see that?
no, I never seen that.
Here, I got a couple screenshots to send. Or I got to send you. All right, bud. This is
Wait,
gonna.
Is Liz the girl that they had a lot of controversy around, like Raj Rael,
I think so.
where like she was supposedly like in a character and like she like shit on like one of the one of like the other contestant. What's his name? Fed, like something like that.
I don't
I don't
think
something like that.
so.
Let me see.
Here it is.
Liz, Fed, is that her?
Here you go. Let me send you these two because I saved a lot of them because I wanted to do a video on them. I didn't do a video yet, but
Where'd you send it? Oh, um, I'm like sorry. I'm like a little sorry. I was me. Wait, which one's first?
the one where she's like get your dyslexic ass out of my mentions. That one was tweeted out first.
Okay. Nah, you're just bored. Also, I take offense to you saying you aren't enough of an opinion, though I'm like, oh, dear Christ.
Yeah, isn't that? I mean, even this, right? She got a lot of backlash for this, which I think she did because she double, tripled, and quadrupled down on like saying that she's progressive and then like crapping all over someone with a literal mental disability.
Yeah, your image. You created an image to like say that you're one kind of person, and then like when you just show the opposite of it, obviously your community is gonna fucking go, or even people of the close community.
What is yellow journalism? What does that mean? Wait,
Uh,
you saw wait a second. Wait a second, hippie.
go for it.
So listen, bud. All right. This person has spent 5 hours on Twitch yesterday and they didn't see one racist person. Hippie, we did it. We stopped the racism. It's over.
Hell yeah,
We
fucking
did we did it.
anecdotal evidence is the fucking best, right? Hell
Anecdote
yeah.
is anecdote is just singular a version of data, isn't it?
Oh my god, of course. What the fuck are you like? Isn't just data a collection of anecdotes?
That's
Jesus Christ.
true, dude. Anecdote anecdote is singular data. It's just many anecdotes put together and then
Yeah,
you get
that's a
data.
per capita argument per person, dude. Oh my.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just like, there's lots of evidence that the gaming community is very bad. Just in total, it's very toxic. I really don't think this is arguable. I just don't. I can't imagine someone being like, oh yes, the gaming community. Oh, gamers, they're such a wholesome bunch. Oh, so many. Oh my goodness, it's the best. It's the best hobby. There's nothing goes wrong in it. It's basically like knitting. Like, no, dude, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Like if I mean, if you just spend like 5 hours and you don't see a racist person, and also you have no clue if you saw a racist person, I promise you, if you start talking about race issues, someone's gonna drop something pretty terrible about race. If not, most people in there are gonna like meme around, and like show that they have some sort of like internalized idea of how like racism is, and like how, you know, how they think about race. You know, that's just, I promise you that this is gonna happen. I mean, if you just sit in a stream, if you just sit in like a freaking Dota stream for 5 hours and everyone's talking about how hot that one girl at school was that whole time, then obviously you're not gonna see anything about race. But I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't just walk in the stream and they're like, "Hello, it is I, the racist. I am here to perpetuate racism." Like, I mean, I don't think this just happens, you know?
Nope. No, it's the same argument that people like always want. Well, did he specifically say that he's a white supremacist? Like no, like he didn't, but like his actions kind of lead up. It's the smoking gun, isn't it? This like the smoking gun, or like yellow
Yeah,
journal. It's
basically,
exaggerated
dude.
and super eye-catching titles during like Spanish American War. Oh, okay, that's actually pretty interesting. Yellow journalism.
I don't know, dude. I just think I don't think she had a terrible take on like if she her broader take on the gaming community being like generally pretty toxic. I think that's pretty. I don't think there's any like argument that it's not, like any valid argument that is not. I really don't think so. Saying that lots of gamers are white supremacists, I think that's hyperbolized to the max, and she shouldn't have said that. I think that's about it, honestly, on that.
Yeah, her
And then her
overall, yeah,
girlfriend here, who hates dyslexic people, apparently needs to chill.
yeah. Her generally like what she said. It sounds like pretty like viable. The way to execute it, I don't know if it's the best, but it just sounds viable. That the idea that if we maybe like we have to figure out an opposite way of like if we want to keep voice comms, if gamers really want to keep voice comms, then they just have to like, and they if they don't want to change, then they take away voice comms,
That's where
and
I
then
think we come in, you know?
that's where what?
That's where we come in, you know? I mean, I just think it's important to change this community, you know, the gaming community in general. It's pretty bad. And I think people like Destiny and Hassan and Vosh and everything are just doing such great work by being good representation for people coming out of holding really terrible ideas on the world, especially after the Gamergate days. Like, believe it or not, actually, like the early 90s and late 90s, early 2000s gaming community was super left wing. Did you know that?
No, actually, well, I don't really know much about like gamer politics, how like gamers like really like view the world or anything like that. No, I never looked into that.
Yeah, I mean, but like once you stop gaming, you get up and you go out into the world. You're just a person again. But like gamers were pretty left wing back in the day. It was only post Gamergate where all of these sort of like reactionary politics, anti SJW people propped up, and then surprise, surprise, after Gamergate stopped, lots of these people parlayed their grift into being like literal Nazis and white nationalists. Isn't that funny? But back in the day, they were left wing. Now, why were they left wing? Because the right hates games. The right hates games. They hate gamers. They hate that sort of like degeneracy that they call upon now, dude. I mean, come on, right? There's no like community on the right where like a bunch of gamers can get together and talk about like games and anime and stuff without being absolutely like throated I mean, like,
Pretty much.
let's be honest. Like, it's still the right who talked about, oh, when all these shootings happen, how it's like GTA and Red Dead that led people to be like these killers, right?
Yeah, like they try to marginalize a group of people, but when they see that it's not working, they then like fucking turn it around and start using them.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen to me. It reminds me of the black people that like pull their lips off Trump's cock for like 2 seconds to say, "Well, black people aren't impressed actually," and then like go back to like gagging. And I'm like, dude, how could or like crap on like a lots of people in the black community are super conservative and it's garbage. They're all terrible people, right? That being said, it's so funny to me to watch someone who's part of a marginalized group marginalize someone from a marginalized group. It's the funniest thing in the world, dude. Can you not see what you're doing? Like, I mean, let's be honest here. You're like, you just got home from getting like bullied because you're black, and then you get online, you're like, the gays, am I right? Like, what are you talking about, dude? I can't understand not having solidarity with someone who's also discriminated for something that they can't even help. You're just born. You're vibing, dude. You're not hurting anybody. It's just wild. I don't know what it's
for now.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like in like the Mexican community, Mexican American
more
community.
likely, yeah, it's kind of more since it's Catholic, it's very conservative. But I mean, that's if you like have super strict parents. I kind of did, but like they're more moderate. They became moderate over
More
more and more.
modern.
Hell yeah, that's why I'm the modern hippie.
That's true.
Anyways,
but yeah.
oh, well, I'll let you go. That way you could do your segment. There's some noise at my house right now, so I'm like gonna try
they're
to.
vibing down there, dude. It's
Yeah,
Corona time.
hell yeah, and I hate the fact that they're kind of hypocrites, but it's okay. It's family.
It's all right.
Not
We
really,
we gotta talk again, bud. This was fun.
I'm done. I'm more
It's
than
funny
done.
how you didn't
Everyone's
know I was a streamer though.
11.
It's funny you didn't know I was a streamer though.
No, yeah. I mean, you didn't. I mean, you didn't like say anything like that.
I did. I
And that's
told
cool.
you.
'Cause,
I
like,
told you, but you're a bad boyfriend and you didn't pay attention.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Probably.
All right. I'll see you later. Wait, you shout yourself out, bud.
If any of you guys think that I was pretty stupid enough to be able to follow, you can follow me at twitch.tv, ModernHippie ModernHippie17.
Please follow me on twitch.com/modernhippie.com/TV/17.
No, don't. Jesus Christ. And by the way, I think his name's Vaudable. Yes, I was pretty fucking scared. Jesus Christ. I
He was
remember your
spooked,
comment.
dude.
Hell yeah, I was fucking spooked.
The dog pill. It haunts
Okay.
all. I'll see you later, bud.
Okay. Twitch.tv, Modern Hippie. Please follow. Have fun with me. If you don't want to have fun with him. Bye, guys.
Later. Skinny Bear.